just gonna give her time and hope everything works out.
So, dude, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I don't.
Give her time, man.
What?
Give her time.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself, bro.
It's so hard. Dude, if you want to slide, you're welcome. If you need to chill, I got you.
My aunt's making me food right now, and then I guess I'm either gonna go to Ames to talk to Mikey and all them, or I might just fly to your crib.
Oh, let me know, man. I'm here for you.
A lot of you might be laughing at that guy, but I've been there. You've put your time, energy, and effort into a woman, and then all of a sudden, she starts to become distant, she becomes cold, or she breaks off with you. You know, you get that uncomfortable feeling in your stomach where you're like, I'm not getting any more good morning texts from her. Or the text messages you do get, they start becoming real spaced out, hours apart. Or she starts to become really distant, or she says she's busy when you try to hang out with her, or she possibly gives you some maybes. It hurts, it's disheartening because you really most likely care about that woman. But you gotta understand, women get bored really easy. I've said this already. They need something new. A lot of times it's not just you. They just become cold and distant. You gotta understand something, guys. When a woman becomes distant and kind of away from you like that, 3 traps that you must avoid when she does this. Because I promise you, there is another guy in the picture. Women are creatures of habit. So if she's used to texting you every day, or you guys used to hanging out every week, having sex every week, and all of a sudden she really doesn't want to, and there's another guy, but she won't tell you this. I'm gonna give you 3 traps you need to avoid when a woman starts to become cold and distant. The first trap is the panic, I need to do something to get her back trap. Okay, I've been there. You try to send her flowers, she becomes distant, and you try to send her chocolates, teddy bears. You try to even take her on a nice vacation or buy her shoes, do all these different things. What you're doing is putting her on a pedestal, okay? You can't do that. Don't try to do all these crazy things when she starts to become cold, because I'm telling you, she's already made up in her mind that she doesn't want you anymore. And what you're doing is putting a strain on her, and you're just pedestalizing her, and you're devaluing yourself. When she starts to become cold and distant, what you need to do is mirror that same thing. Say, okay, fine, cool, I see what you're doing. And then just relax, pump the brakes, and just prepare yourself for impact, okay? She's gone cold, she's gone distant, don't do anything. Don't panic. She's made up in her mind, she doesn't want you. She won't tell you, but she's just slowly drifting. And it's just time to accept that. Don't do all this crazy stuff. Don't take her on these dinners. Don't buy these cars and go these crazy apologies. And what can I do to fix things? Don't do anything. Brace for impact and act like you know, hey, I see it coming. I never forget, about 4 years ago, a woman gave me my pink slip, and she said, Darius, I just want to be friends. And she was kind of teary-eyed. She was crying, even though it might have been fake. But, you know, I let her know, hey, I do not want to be friends. I enjoyed our romantic time together. And what happened was she left, and she called me back a couple days later, and she said, you know, why don't you want to be friends, Darius? And she was really angry at me. That's because the guy she left me for, she didn't know if he was as good as me. She probably knew he had potential possibly, but she didn't know if he was going to be secure. So a lot of women, they try to do the friend zone or let's be friends speech just in case it doesn't work out with the new guy so she can come back around to you. Okay? Don't accept that let's be friends trap. Or don't say, hey, when she leaves you, can we just be friends? Don't do that. You're stopping yourself from seeking and seeing different women. If a woman has lost attraction for you, which, let's be honest, they all will at some point because they're based on emotions and feelings and everything fluctuates up and down. You got to understand, do not be her friend. Don't, because you're trapping yourself and you're stopping yourself from growing, and you will be her little pet. You will be waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping and praying that she gains attraction for you while she bangs all these other different guys, while she gets ran through and gets smashed doggy style and all this other stuff. Don't be her friend. Be able to walk away and just leave. That's the trap that a lot of guys fall into. Being her friend, hoping they can get back between her legs. That's the wrong thing to do. The third and final trap is the trying to lock her down as your girlfriend and be exclusive trap. When you start to see her become distant and cold, what a man does in his mind, he starts to think, oh, she doesn't see me as boyfriend material, or something is kind of slow. So what he does is say, hey, you know, I really like you. I want to take things forward and move a step forward, because he thinks in his mind, the missing key, the missing puzzle is to lock her down and have a relationship with her. That's not the route to go. It's very feminine and very weak for a man to want a relationship. That's what women are supposed to do. They're supposed to bring that up. A man is supposed to be about his life, about his purpose, and having a good time, and then she'll bring it up when she's ready, okay? Guys, do not try to lock her down when she becomes cold and distant. Whatever the issue is, maybe you might have been too needy, maybe you might have become overbearing, maybe she just might be dating and seeing other guys. Whatever the issue is, just take it easy. Don't panic. That's the key. Because every woman you meet, every woman you come into contact with, I promise you, every woman I've talked to, dated, seen, been with, they've all became distant. They've all became cold. And what I noticed when I did those, when they became cold, what I did was a lot of times I would chase them, and I would do all three of those things. You know, try to put a label on and try to fix things and take her out and do this. But then I start to say, you know what? I can't control how she feels or what she wants to do. Okay? Only thing I can do is control myself and whether we have a good time or not. So when I start to just back off, when I mirrored what she did, when she went cold and backed away, I did the same thing. Then guess what? 9 times out of 10, she came back around. Even if she didn't, I still held my dignity and held my head high and moved forward. Remember, do not panic. Every single woman will become cold and distant. And majority of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, I hate to break it to you, she's seeing and sleeping with another guy, or she has her eyes on another guy. Just suck it up, brace for impact, and just enjoy life. That's the only thing you got to do. Just don't panic. Once you panic, it's a wrap, and she's definitely going to lose even more attraction for you, but it's going to be faster.